This is literally the most impromptu knife review that has ever happened. Keep going.
Man, I'm talking about getting burnt.
I know you are. See,
I'm
that's
talking
what I mean.
about knives.
Yeah, this is at Sukkot around the fire with the APN. Come on, bust it out.
No.
I mean your knife, you know.
Not gonna do it.
Don't fall over.
No.
Where'd it go? All right. So this is the Ontario Knife Company RAT3, which I've talked about on camera 100,000 times. As you can see, it is a hard use knife. It has been used, well used, wrong side, well loved, right? Okay. This is Hobie's CIMA knives 9368. So I don't know if y'all can see here, they're very similar knives. This knife is a knockoff per se. Would you say that's accurate?
Yes.
It is a knockoff of this knife, but very similar knives, very similar. So the high points first. The jimping on this one, the CIMA, is pretty good. The jimping on the RAT3 is excellent. It's very good. The choil on the RAT3 is good, so you can choke up for detail work like skinning, gutting, making feather sticks or fuzz or whatever. The choil on the CIMA is good, but it's not quite as deep as the RAT3. See, there you go. Use my hat as a background. You see that? Okay. This is literally the most impromptu knife review ever. We're standing around the fire talking about life. I was like, oh, it's time for a knife review.
Yeah, perfect.
That's literally what happened. Would you concur?
Yep.
Good. So, the CIMA is definitely heavier than the RAT3. The reason for that is, if you look at the thickness side by side, you can see how much thicker the blade on the CIMA is than the RAT3. The CIMA's probably a full 1/4 of an inch or dang near it, whereas the RAT3 is like an 1/8 plus, so 5/32 I'd say. So you get 3/32 more of steel on this one than this one. That being said, the RAT3 has never let me down. So this one is significantly heavier than this one. Not quite twice as much, but you can definitely feel a difference in the heft. This one has, these are rivets that are holding the scales on, where these are screws. You can see they have you can put an Allen key in there, whereas these are not. They're pressed on, they're rounded over. So similar blade shape. There's a little bit more belly in this one than this one, but I've never felt lacking in this one because there wasn't enough belly in the knife. So let's see what else we got going on here. They're both G10, like micarta scales on them. They both have loops at the bottom. This knife is the knockoff of this knife. However, this knife is what? $22. This knife is $70-ish, $75. So the real question is, as they say on Forged in Fire, does it cut? When I do that, I get this vein at the side of my neck. And does it cut? That is gross. I probably shouldn't do that anymore. So in testing, and by testing I mean I just stole his knife yesterday and we cut some stuff. This thing cuts. It comes. Is this your edge or did it come from the factory this way? They came from the factory this way. So
And I've played with it quite a bit.
this is, let's see, this is some dead-ish pecan limb. So I mean, it just comes right off of there. So can he make a feather stick? I don't know. Can he? I mean, y'all can see. Can you? Probably not. With this, and this is the factory edge. So that's a dang good factory edge. The steel on this one is 7CR17 MOV. So that's going to be a powder metallurgy Chinesium blade, but it works. It does a good job. The steel on this one, I believe, I think it's AUS 8 steel on this one, but I could be wrong. I don't remember. This steel is a little bit softer. This steel is a little bit harder. This one, can it cut? It cuts everything. It's always cut everything. Look at the blade. It has been well used. And you can see the coating on this blade as well has worn, and it's done a pretty good job of wearing. In hand, this one is definitely thinner in profile because of the thickness of the blade than this one is, but I don't find this one to be obnoxiously thick. I have large hands, so for me, I would say it's just fine. Come here, boy, lend me your hands.
Okay.
Hold this sharp knife. Is that too thick for your hand?
No.
No. Okay. It's not too thick for your hand. Hold this one. Does that one feel better or worse?
For me, I like that one.
You
better.
like this one more?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'd say in hand for me, I like this one, the RAT3, but I'm used to this one. I've carried this one every day for the last 3-ish years. I just got my hands on this one yesterday and it's not mine, so I have a lot less experience with it. But there are no hot spots on the handle. They did a good job of making sure that there's nothing that's gonna beat you up when you're using this knife. So all in all, it's a good copy. It's definitely worth 22 bucks. If you want there is a caveat, we're gonna get to that. If you want the bragging rights and the American Ontario Knife Company steel, and well, Ontario's not in America, dummy. What does that say right there? USA. Okay? Ontario, New York. I know. It's a communist state. That's why I don't live there anymore. But it is in the United States. If you want the American steel, you can get this on Amazon. It's about 70 bucks, and I've actually seen them in the preparedness aisle, which used to be the camping aisle, but is now the preparedness aisle at Walmart for about $70 as well. This one is on Amazon for, I think, $22.70 we found it for yesterday. And if you pay 200 bucks a year, they'll ship it to your house for free in 2 days. So that's on you. But it's worth $22.70, except for one major caveat, which is you're gonna need a sheath. This one comes with a very good Kydex sheath with a tech lock. The tech lock allows you to position it however you want it on your belt or on your molly kit or whatever. This one comes with a super cheesy sheath, and so you had this sheath. Did you make this? You had this made.
I bought that.
You bought this
I
one.
bought it.
You-
I actually bought that for another knife that I have,
Right.
but it was made for the RAT3.
Okay.
And my other knife, my homemade knife, was really similar to them.
Okay.
So I tried it, and then I thought to myself, well, if I like the RAT3, I have a sheath that nothing's going to fit. So I went ahead and bought a knockoff version of the RAT3 to see if I would like it.
How much was this sheath?
It's 36 bucks.
36 bucks and 22.70. So you're at 58 bucks, 59 bucks for this setup, or 75 for this. So understand in the value equation that the sheath that comes with this one out of the box is not muy bueno.
No, it's cheap.
It's muy malo, muy bado. Sister Francis, I'm bad at Espanol, so you just tell me down in the comments what I'm trying to say. I'm about to have a drop-in knife. Oh. So, yes, son.
After you do this, can we do my feud between my fix blade and Shine's fix blade?
Maybe. I'm literally live right now.
Oh.
I mean, I'm recording right now. So we'll talk about that in a minute. Okay. You good? Okay, cool. So,
Real life!
So, oh, I didn't mean to throw your nice sheath on the ground. I'm sorry, brother.
That's the expensive part, man.
So, in closing, which one would I buy? For EDC, if you want a fixed blade EDC, I would rather put these things into categories. I would buy this one for EDC because it's almost half the weight of this one. And ounces or pounds and all that stuff, yada yada, all of which holds true. For putting together a kit for somebody else, or for yourself, like as part of a bushcrafting kit or something, you might look into this. If you need several knives for several kits, or you just want one more knife to make feather sticks with, or, you know, stick into zombies when they come to your 3-bedroom, 2-bath house in your neighborhood outside of the nearest metropolis where you're probably going to starve to death and die anyway. Maybe you want this one, who knows? But it is a good knife. They did a good job. They did a good job ripping off Ontario. So you can see it is a little bit longer overall length. It's a little bit longer, maybe a half an inch longer, but they did a good job.
That one actually rides in my get home bag.
This one rides in your get home bag. That would be a good.
That's why it's so clean.
That would be a good use for it because you never had to get home yet.
Right.
And so, as another competitive option, you might look at something like this, which was handed to me by an unnamed associate of mine who may or may not be opening a bottle of hibiscus mead right now.
No, this is wine.
Oh, it's just wine. I'm
And
sorry.
The origin of that knife is Germany, 1987. I gave $20 and a cup of Jack Daniel's whiskey for that. That is a Linder Bowie knife made from Solingen German steel.
It's very sharp. What he's trying to say was this was made by Krupp, which was one of those terrible companies that made machinery for the Germans during World War II. That's not at all what he said. He traded $20 and a glass of Jack Daniels for this knife. It's German steel, handmade, Solingen, Germany. It's a nice knife. You could probably stick this into bad guys too. So, in closing, the RAT3 versus the CIMA
SEMA 1.
The RAT3 versus the CIMA 1. Which one would I prefer? Hey bro, what's your budget? If you got the budget, get the RAT3. If you don't have the budget, get the CIMA 1. If you already have the RAT3 and you need more knives, maybe look at the CIMA. It's really a surprising quality knife for the price. For $20-ish, it's definitely worth $20. I'd say that knife is a better performer than the Gerber Profile you're going to get for $18 plus tax out of the Walmart case for sure. It's a better steel, it's much sharper, much better handles. Yeah, the sheath sucks, but Gerber sheaths suck too. So for what it is, it's worth $22.70. The end. Go camp in the woods because God told you to. Shalom. Hey.
Yeah, we got some Jack Daniels.
$20 American. Done. Hey.
All right.
Hey.
And a puppy.
Puppy.
My get home bag.
Puppy.
This knife is with me almost every, not on my person,